It's that time. We finally have a pretty day. The ground's dried up enough to get out here and work, and I'm gonna get the garden ready to plant. It doesn't look like much now, but I'm going to show you our normal garden area. This is our garden. It seems like it gets a little bit bigger and bigger every year, but this is our main kitchen garden. I usually try to grow a variety of things that we eat on a day-to-day basis. But I'm going to switch it up a little bit, let this ground rest, because I've noticed that my plants are not as bug or disease tolerant. I feel like I may be using this this area too much over and over again. This year, my plan for this part of the garden is pumpkins, maybe some watermelons. That would be fantastic. So not 10 feet away, maybe 20 feet away, we have this other part. We call this our lower garden. This is where I usually grow okra. He's grown market tomatoes here before. It's kind of always an afterthought, but I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to use this area as our kitchen garden this year because I plan on trying to preserve more food. What's kind of interesting is last year John got a handful of heirloom wheat and planted it in this section right here. We harvested the wheat. We've since grown crowder peas. Pumpkins were in this area at the end of the summer. But this spring, look what's starting to grow. We've got wheat coming up. This is heirloom wheat. It's called purple stem wheat. By the time we harvest the wheat in this section here, it'll be time to plant our tomatoes and maybe some beans, crowder peas, that sort of thing. Like everybody else, we're busy and we have to use what we've got. And we're lucky enough to have a tractor. So we're going to use the tractor to help us till this area of the garden. He needs a helmet. If you're new to gardening, don't worry. Like, this is a little overkill, I realize. Is this necessary? No. But it's the middle of March. I've got things to do. The tiller's broken. This is a new area that we haven't really planted that much or disturbed the soil. And so John's helping me out. Who else starts off the spring with big plans? I do. I usually get the spring plans done. I just have trouble getting everything harvested and put away during the summer and fall. So that's my goal this year. I'm going to be more organized. So last year on this fence post we grew loofah. You ever heard of loofah? My good friend Mindy passed on some loofah seed and they're incredible. I'll tell you about loofah later. But this year I'm going to use these fences that are already up. I'm going to plant cucumber, climbing beans, things that need something to grow on anyway instead of taking it down. And then along the other side I might go ahead and put up another fence for my loofah because they're awesome. This section up here I'm going to use for the early spring plants so that by the time they're all harvested and done, this is where I'm going to plant my okra, the things that are going to grow from early summer throughout really late summer, early fall. I have been pouring through seed catalogs, sketching, trying to come up with a plan, and I think I've got it. my main goal is to rotate where I put my plants, because I really do think it makes a difference in the quality of plant that you grow. Start. Okay, let's get these onions in the ground. Hey! Excuse me. Okay, so I buy my onions like this. I don't start them from seed. I know. Some of you overachievers start them by seed, but look, I'm doing the best I can. And I'm still growing them. This still counts. So what I am doing, I bought 3 varieties of onions. Okay, they're already starting to shoot. They're ready to grow. I have 2 varieties of a yellow onion and then 1 variety of a red. I've got a Texas sweet. I can't remember if this is a Georgia yellow, Georgia sweet. I don't remember the name of it. If I remember, I'll put it in the information below. It's supposed to be a super mild onion. So what I'm gonna do is just start spacing them out. I can probably put 3 together, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then just make my row go all the way down. I'm gonna plant each one about 1 inch deep, and I'm gonna space them at least 4 inches apart. Okay, you want to avoid planting it too deep because these onions don't need to stay soggy wet. I don't take the time to measure, but you can basically see on this onion, it's got this dried out part just above the root. So I tend to try to get them in the ground at least to that dried area. Let's do it. They don't look like much now, but what's neat is in just a few months, a couple months really, this little tiny end down here is going to wind up being a bulb about like this. And then I'll show you how to dry them and cure them and store them so that you can use them all summer, all throughout the fall, early winter. Okay, first up are my Texas sweet. I went ahead and spaced them out. I didn't measure, I'm just eyeballing it. Once they get growing, you're not going to tell if they're an inch off. Just get them in the ground so they can start growing. So I've got 64 plants lined up, ready to be put in the ground, and I'm going to get to it. Texas sweet onions are in the ground, looking good. Next we have our red onions. These are really pretty. Sometimes when you buy them at the store, they're really dried out. These look really good and healthy. All right. That is 130 onions. I still have 1 more variety to plant. But my back is gonna break, so I need a break. When the chicks get big enough to not be in the house, but they are not quite big enough to be out in the field with the bigger chickens, we keep them in our brooder house. I don't think I've shown you that. I'm gonna take you, I'll show you around.
Yee-hoo.
Yee-hoo!
Like my gun.
Yeehaw!
Name's Bang. Pretty cool.
You and those pistols. That's Cowboy Grant. Am I right?
Yep.
All right.
Alright.
Don't want them to run out. Hi, little girls. Hi, little girls.
I have a heavy load here.
You do. So look, this is what I'm going to show you. We've been throwing down straw, hay, whatever this is. Look how thick this is. That's going to be awesome on our garden because it's full of chicken poo, which is going to be fantastic fertilizer. Hi, sweethearts.
Let me show you Bestie.
Hi, sweethearts.
Hi, Bestie.
Oh, y'all are getting big. You about ready to go out to the field? They're getting close, Grant.
I know.
Looking good. Daddy just put fresh hay down, so I'm going to try to scrape some of that off the top. And then this good used up hay, it's a little bit wet. It's already starting to break down. That is what we're going to put on the garden. Oh, that's pitiful. Let me see those muscles. Stand up. Yeah. That's it. I am not your guru. I am not an expert or a know-it-all when it comes to gardening, but I'm learning every year. I'm learning from my mistakes. Trust me, I made plenty of mistakes. But if you get anything from this, I want you to feel empowered. Like you can try. You don't have to start off with 180 onions. You can start off with 20, 30. And you're gonna have success, and you're gonna wanna grow more and more, because to me and to our family, there's nothing more satisfying than growing what you eat on your plate. It's amazing. We love it. It is so rewarding. Tomorrow I'm gonna get these other beds ready. We've got spinach to get in the ground. Grant has some heirloom carrots he wants to try. We're just gonna knock it out while the weather's good, because I think rain's supposed to be back in the area Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So we've only got a couple of days of good weather. So, all in a day's work. We've got the garden tilled. We've got the onions in the ground. We took straw from the brooder house, which is full of manure. Hopefully it's not too fresh or too hot, as they say. Because that will actually burn up your plants. We're gonna see how it turns out, but at least it's in the ground. I'm happy, I'm satisfied. My back is killing me. I'm gonna go have a cold drink. But it was definitely worth the hard work, right, Grant? Yeah, thank you for your help.
You're welcome. I did everything.
Okay, wait, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And make a thumbs up.
I know you love me. Ew, so gross. Oh, boys are gross.
Well, you're in my club. How about that?
I'm in the club.
You keep saying gross, I'll knock it out.
You're not gross, you're perfect.
I'm good.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Okay.